The NHL scriptwriters were absolutely cooking last night. Bedard gets his second hat-trick of the season, Celebrini says hold my beer, and then he gets his second hat-trick of the season. Now that we're about one quarter of the way through the season, let's compare the two future faces of the NHL. Starting off with some of the basic offensive stats, both have put up excellent numbers and also very similar numbers. Since Celebrini has played 20 games and Bedard's only played 19, I'm looking at both goals and points on a per-game basis. The only difference between the two is that Celebrini has an extra assist, but when adjusting for the extra game, Bedard has slightly better stats. Bedard also has a better plus-minus, while Celebrini has a slightly better shooting percentage. Now for some extra offensive stats, the top two are kind of up to your interpretation. Bedard's 3 empty net points to Celebrini's 0 tells you that Celebrini has a better rate at getting points against goalies. But at the same time, Celebrini's collected more overtime points where it's easier to score. At the same time, both of these stats are related to being clutch and being able to put close games away. One big argument for Bedard in his first 2 seasons is that he had little to no support, which was a valid argument, although this year things are looking a little bit different. Celebrini has been responsible for a much larger proportion of the Sharks' goals compared to Bedard for the Hawks. This isn't definitive to say that Bedard has better line mates, but it could indicate that the Blackhawks as a team have better depth than the Sharks. And according to NHL Edge, Bedard does have a slightly faster max speed. Now for some of the defensive stats, it's no surprise that Celebrini's a little bit better here. As after all, he was touted as an elite two-way forward before he was even drafted. I'll also note that neither player actually plays on the penalty kill, so take that category with a grain of salt. Just once in a while, non-penalty killers will find themselves in a PK situation, just depending on the context. Now, penalties drawn is actually more of an offensive stat, but I thought I'd include it here alongside penalties taken. And Celebrini actually leads the league with 13 penalties drawn. D-zone giveaways are more common among defensemen, but I do like this stat more than general giveaways, because giveaways usually matter more the closer you are to your own net. So with all of that said, who's the better player? Both of them are so good that I prefer to appreciate their greatness in real time instead of comparing them. But if I had to choose one, I would say Macklin Celebrini's a little bit better overall. This is because they put up similar scoring numbers, while Celebrini's better defensively. And he's also a year younger in a crucial development period where players of this caliber typically get exponentially better. But here's a better question. Why is there still even a debate about these two being on Team Canada? Speed and skill are two huge factors in Olympic hockey, so Team Canada doesn't need to worry about the grittiness like they did for Four Nations. Of course, veteran experience is important, but there will already be enough of that with Crosby, McKinnon, and McDavid, just to name a few. The team doesn't need literally every player to be a veteran. These two are quite literally outplaying everyone else in the league not named McKinnon or McDavid. But as always, let me know your thoughts on these two superstars and which one you think is better.